So it's a pleasure to meet with you guys. So I'm going to be doing a video on how to perform a search strategy. So for the sake of this video, we are going to be using just going to do a very simple search where we would show how we can get our mesh terms and all that. So let's say, for example, you have your research here and you want to do a search strategy for this, right? So one thing you need to understand is that there are usually models to use. It could be PEO or PICO or Spider, right? So any model you're using no it has no really direct implication on what your search strategy is going to look like. But what is going to really have a massive what is going to be a very determining factor, it's the keywords in your search. So when we look at this now, what do we have? We have psychological effect, right? So psychosocial effect. Okay, um so I'm going to have two tables. So my table A, so I will take this out. So I'm going to have two tables, table A and table B. Now, for the sake of this video, we're going to be explaining how to search using tie-up terms and mesh, right? Okay, so tie-up is going to form more of our free text term. So now, so I'm going to bring that down. Okay, well, let me put it in. Now we have some keywords. We have psychosocial effect, we have divorce, right? We have adolescents, and we have high income countries, but we're not going to be including that. So we're going to accommodate this during our screening of the papers. Now, so I'm going to write them down here. Psychosocial effect. So keywords. Divorce and adolescents. So we're looking for now. This is the what? Systematic review, right? So now, what are we now going to do? We're going to create a table here, right? Just a two-column table for our mesh term. So this is going to be our entry. No, we'll call this keywords, and this is going to be our what? Entry terms. Okay. Now, the same thing is going to also happen here for the tie-up terms, and then we'll have table C, where we will now have our combined Now, so this is it. This is it. Now, what are we now going to do? We're going to search for the mesh terms for this, the mesh terms for this, and mesh terms for this, right? So straight up, I'm going to open National Library of Medicine, PubMed. I'm going to open PubMed. Now, when you come to PubMed, you come down here to this place that is titled Mesh Database, right? So it's going to be very, very important for us. So you click on it. Now we're trying to build our search. So I put in the first keyword. I'm sorry. So I go back in. and search. So I clicked on this. So there's no items found, right? So we leave it as psychosocial. Hold on. Let's check why. Okay, so the term here is psychology. So we look at the mesh tree and so here is just to restrict for only topics that are searched about psychology. Here is to maybe if we do not want to include mesh terms that are found below this term in the mesh hierarchy tree. So what we mean by that is this is the hierarchy tree here, right? So we want to just stop it here. So we don't want all this. So let's attempt this term psychosocial. So here are some of the keywords that might be very interesting to us. Some of the mesh terms that might be very interesting to us. Psychosocial deprivation, psychosocial intervention, psychosocial functioning, psychosocial supporting system, and all that. So we might just choose, we need to now, what the major thing you need to do is to look at some of these definitions and see if it has any impact on what you want to do. And this one has, this first definition, the absence of stimuli in physical or this or that, emotional, social, and intellectual, we might be interested in it. Then psychosocial intervention, psychosocial effect, right? So we put this as well, search term, and maybe we're not interested in these. So these are two mesh terms now, right? So now what it means is that we're not going to add it here with and. So we change here to what? Or, and add it to our search builder. So immediately we add it, we copy it, control. Now what I do is I highlight it, control. So control C, right? So I can copy and cut. So I've copied it. So I put it in my words, in my first tree. So I have to try and build this. So I can drop this term effect if I like. So I'm going to call it H1. So H2 is going to be divorce. H3 is going to be adolescent. Now we might have to separate effect from social because we wouldn't really want to be seeing articles on divorce among adolescents and some of the, but still on, we are still making it more open. So we go back to our, so put in the next keyword, divorce, search. So we go through the mesh hierarchy tree, right? And that's divorce at the very end of the tree. So, and we're very okay with this. So that means we have to, and we don't want to restrict to this mesh major topic. But if we want to do that, we can actually click it. So we come here and add to search builder. So take that. So pick up the next term. So search. So here it means we have more than one mesh term, right? So we're interested in adolescents, No. We're just invested in this. So we do what? Take this out and then I'm gonna add to search builder. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on our tie-up terms, right? And working on our tie-up terms is not something very different from what we've already been doing. But now, I will need to explain what this means. So tie-up terms means title abstract, right? So what it means is that we still have the same similar keywords here. Okay, but let's check for the word effect before we move to our tie-up terms. So that is it. We wouldn't want something out of entering into clinical, so we leave that out. Now, working on our tie-up terms is not difficult. So we're going to use what we have here already to build that. So what are we going to do? We have this TR then or this TR. That was TR adolescents. Now, but for adolescents, we can put what we call a truncation, which is an asterisk, so that we can capture words like adolescents, and we can add CHS, right? Now put CL. So here now we have to now build our what? Our search. So this video is just a very simple take out the fact. So we'll come here to build our search. So how do we build our search? We'll now pick this. #1, we'll put this. Then still on that, we'll come for this. Okay. So we'll come to the second one. Now we can also have psychosocial CAP. Okay. So come, this is for what? #2 divorce. So come down. So we separate with the what we call the all Boolean operator. So this is just a simple search, right? Can decide to add the mesh term for teenagers is adolescents. So this is it. when you come to mesh and search teenagers, you get adolescent. So that is why someone might be asking why we didn't put adolescent as mesh. The mesh term for teenagers is what? Adolescent. So we'll leave that out. Okay, good. So the idea behind this is so we can have words like adolescent, have words like adolescents, can have whatever type of word and adolescent. So that is why we keep the, if you look at all these words here, they have their similar joining types here. This is a particular part that is common to all the words. That's why we now put the star here so that it can be able to capture all these words. So that we have the idea behind mesh terms is that you have lesser terms and more results. So I'm going to just show us a recent search that I have just built, recently during my training, and just so we have a look at what it looks like. And this was for standards of teenage pregnancy in Nigeria. So this is what it looks like. Okay, mesh or determinants or TAP or factors and all that. Okay, cool. So now, so what do we do next? We now go to now start to do so now what do? We go to PubMed, we log into PubMed, so we close this, open PubMed, search, come here, we come to advanced here, advanced. We click on advanced. Now, this is where we will now enter our what? Our search terms, right? Enter or edit your search query here and what you want to enter it with. So we come here, we pick up the first one. So I'll copy. I'll put it in. Now, instead of searching, I'll add to history because I have just used the or Boolean operator. I haven't combined it. The idea is that I want to combine 1, 2, and 3. In short, what I'm looking for now is #4, which is #1, and looking for papers that will contain #1 and #2 and #3. So let me explain. What it means is I want papers that will have psychosocial inside of it and also contain diverse or this and also contain what? Adolescents, right? So either as mesh or as title and abstract. So I'll just try to capture that. This is where I built up my search. So if you look at all these places, if I hover my cursor around them, you'll see that I've just made it what? Very simple. So I'm going to return back to PubMed and click on add to history. So I look at my search term and I add to history. Now I've added it to history. I've got 5,580 search terms, right? Only on this. It was sorted by what? Most recent. Now I pick up my second. So I hover up, sorry, pick up this. So I click on this, right? And do what? I do what? I add to history. So 51 results. 21,800. Now, so what is the next thing now to do? The next thing now to do now is to hit on #1 and no. Instead of hitting on it, I could just copy it from my table. You can copy. Now, what it means now is we have a problem here because of this filter, right? We have a problem here already. So what we will do now is we'll have to go back to my PubMed. So I have to clear all the filters here. So I'll clear all the filters, right? So, but technically it means I have to put in the terms again because of this filter. So let me delete this. Confirm. So I've deleted it. So that is it. That's the same process. So we'll quickly follow the same process quickly now. Now, this is what our search strategy now entails now, right? So we can copy this table and what? And put it in our what? Search results. Now, the point is this. Now let's explain this result. Now, these are now the papers that contains adolescents, either of this and either of this. So to open those papers, we'll just click on this. And we can now do what? Go through those papers, right? Good. So now also, these are the papers. Now, if you want to now move these papers for data extraction, right? So you click on save, all results, not all results on this page. Because if you click all results on this page, it's going to, because we want to have a more clear, now listen, you want to have a more clearer view of all the papers, right? Instead of having to maybe click on next. So you just come here, click on save, click on all results, then you save it as CSV, then you create file. Immediately the file is created. So you open this file. So now we can now have access to all our papers for our data structure. So this is what the Excel file looks like. And I can come here, this on the title, and expand it so that I can do what? I can do what? Go through all the papers and check if they fit in or doesn't fit into my what? Inclusion or what? Exclusion criteria. So that is it for this video. So if you found this video very for just try and subscribe and like and share it to your friends. And thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.